Hello everyone. Myself in Rajeshwari. I am working as contract lecturer in electrical department in Government Polytechnic area. I am dealing with the subject electrical power system. Today I want to discuss about the AC/DC transmission systems. In that transmission lines, need of transmission lines, advantages and disadvantages of transmission and distribution lines. Before going to tell the today's topic, in last previous classes, uh, we studied about the generation part of electrical power systems. So coming to today's class, first of all, I would like to give some introduction about the transmission lines. The economic development of any country mainly depends on the effective utilization of available resources. One of its most powerful resources is electricity. Nowadays, we are depending on this electricity. Everyone should have their works depends on the electricity. So electric power is generated in large thermal, nuclear, hydel power stations, and the energy is transferred from these generating stations to the consumers via transmission and distribution systems. Coming to the need for transmission line is generating stations, transmission lines, and distribution systems are the main components of electric power systems. So in this, the generated in generating stations, the voltage is generated at the stations, and these generated voltages are transmitted or distributed to the transmission and distribution lines. So these are the main components of electric power system. The generating stations and the distribution system are connected through transmission lines, which are also connect from the grid to the another grid or another distribution or anything. So in this main need of transmission line is to transmit the generated voltage to the consumer premises or to the distribution centers. So these transmission lines are needed. And the electric power generated at a voltage of 11 to 25 kV, which is stepped up to the transmission levels in the range of 66 to the 400 kilovolts or higher than the 400 kilovolts. So these high voltages transmitted through the transmission lines. The need of distribution systems and transmission lines is to transmit the voltage or power, electric power from the generating stations to the consumers, that is industry or domestic. So this is the main system to distribute the transmission line voltages to the generating station to the consumer premises. In transmission lines, there are some of the classifications are there. So for distribution, the voltage is 33 kV to and lower, and sub-transmission means 33 kV to 132 kV, and transmission voltage is 132 kV and higher values of 132 kV, and high voltage voltages are ranges from 132 kV to up to the 220 kV kilovolts voltage, and extra high voltage is 400 kilovolts to the 750 kilovolts, and ultra high voltage is greater than 750 kilovolts and higher the voltages, and the ultra high voltage systems. So these are some of the classifications depends on the transmitted voltage or distributed voltages. So for the distribution, there are less voltages are distributed from the substations to the consumers. In sub-transmission means transmission to the distribution. In between these two, that is a subtransmission voltage, and transmission is from starting from generating stations to the subtransmission is this transmission lines. So these are the some of the classifications of transmission lines. And coming to the power system line diagram, in this diagram, this will shows the generating stations to the consumers, the power line diagram. So power is transmitted or distributed from generating station to the consumers. So at the generating station, it is generated the voltage as 11 kV. So this 11 kV is here. This is the primary transmission, and this is the secondary transmission, and this is the primary distribution, and this is the secondary distribution. So from this generating stations to secondary transmission, there will be primary transmission. So in this primary transmission, the 11 kV generated voltage will be stepped up to the 132 kV. So this is the step up transformer we are using at the primary transmission after the generating stations. So these step up transformer will step up the voltage of 11 kV to the 132 kV. So this is the primary transmission network. So in that primary transmission, the 132 kV voltage line will be there. This is the 132 kV line. This is transmitted a 132 kV voltages to the secondary transmission. In the before receiving station, one of the transformer is placed. This is the step down transformer. So this step down transformer will step down the 132 kV voltage to the 33 kV voltage. So this is the secondary transmission system. In this secondary transmission, the 33 kV line will be passes through the primary distribution. So this 33 kV before substation, one transformer is placed near to the substation. That is one of these step down transformer. These step down transformers will step down the voltage of 33 kV to the 11 kV. So in this, after reaching the substation, it will be just the 11 kV as substation. This is the primary distribution. From this substation, most of the industries industrial consumers will take the supply from these substations, and this is going to the secondary distribution system. So before going to secondary distribution, one more transformer is placed here. So this step down, this is also a step down transformer. This step down transformer will step down the 11 kV voltage to 415 volts. So these 451 volts is transmitted through the secondary distribution to the consumers. These consumers will take this supply 415 volts as three phase and 230 volts as single phase for the consumers. So this is all about the power system line diagram. So in this primary distribution system, this is the primary distribution and this is the secondary distribution. The primary distribution system transmit at a medium voltage is called the primary distribution system. Here this is the primary distribution system. The primary distribution system voltages are 3.3 kV, 6.6 kV, and 11 kV, three phase, three wire systems. Coming to the secondary distribution system, the distribution system transmit at a low voltage is called the secondary distribution system. This secondary distribution voltages may be 440 or 230 volts, three phase, four wire systems. In this 440 is for three phase, and this is single phase. This is 230 volts will take the as a single phase voltage. This is the three phase, four wire system. for secondary distribution. Coming to the transmitting the electrical power, we have two types of transmission systems. One is a direct current system and other one is a AC alternating system. The DC is direct current and AC is alternating current systems. These are two types of transmitting systems. Coming to the advantages of DC transmission system, it requires only two conductors. One is positive and another one is the negative terminals. These are two conductors. So this is the DC transmission figure. I'm showing these lines are one is positive and another one is the negative. There are two conductors are required in this DC transmission. Coming to the advantages of DC transmission system, there is no inductance and capacitance effect is present in DC transmission, and no phase displacement and surge problems, and no skin effect and less corona loss, reduced interference with communicating circuits, and potential stress on the insulation is also less because there is no frequency in this DC transmission, so that no inductance and capacitance effect will eliminated, or no effect in this DC transmission, and no phase displacement because no in case any inductance or capacitance is present, then there will be the phase displacement. So there is no inductance with no phase displacement and also such problems, and no skin effect because there is no frequency in this DC transmission lines and less corona losses. And loss due to charging current eliminated, and there is no charging current because of not present in capacitor. So this in this no charging current. So the loss due to charging current will be eliminated. In underground cables also, this DC transmission will provided. Voltage regulation is better and no stabilizer is required for DC transmission systems. Coming to the disadvantages of DC transmission, some of the disadvantages are there for DC transmission over advantages. So those are power cannot be generated at high voltages. So in DC transmissions, some required voltages will be generated, not more than high values. So these are the power cannot be generated at high voltages. The voltage cannot be stepped up because there is no AC. So in the transformer will operated with AC supply only. So there is no step up or step down in DC transmission system. The cost of converting and inverting stations are high. So conversion stations will take the cost is high values. So it requires costly switchgear also. These are the some of the disadvantages of DC transmission system. So coming to the advantages of AC transmission systems, the voltage can be stepped up and stepped down in AC transmission system because it is a disadvantage in DC transmission system where DC is not allowed in transformers. So in this AC transmission system, we can use the transformer to step up or step down voltages so that voltage can be stepped up and stepped down in AC transmission systems. The electrical power generated at high voltages because step up will be there in this AC transmission. So by using step up transformers, we can generate high voltages. The maintenance of substation is easy and cheaper, and cost of switchgear is also less. So cost in case of cost also less cost in comparison with DC transmission. So here some of the disadvantages of AC transmission system are more conductor material is required, power loss due to charging current because capacitance and inductances are present in this AC system, so that power loss due to charging current will be there. And construction of transmission lines are difficult. Synchronizing problems are somewhat more in AC transmission systems. Coming to the effect of some of few more disadvantages of AC system are due to skin effect, the line resistance will increase, and due to corona, the spacing between conductors should be kept more, and in cables, alternating current causes sheath loss. So these are some of the few more disadvantages of AC transmission systems. So coming to the effects of supply frequency and voltage on transmission lines. So by taking these transmission lines, there are some supply frequency is there in AC transmission systems, and voltage is also there in the transmission lines. The effect of supply frequency and voltage on these transmission lines. So coming to the supply frequency, so the supply frequency must be maintained constant so that AC motors do not change their speeds. If we changes the frequency, then the AC motors will change their speeds according to the frequencies. So that there are dangerous speeds or low speeds are appears in this AC motors. So that is the problem. So the frequency must be maintained constant so that AC motors do not change their speeds. Almost all large systems in frequency is kept constant so that synchronous clocks may be operated directly from the power mains. Without keeping frequency constant, there will be synchronous clocks are operated. So if we keep the frequency as constant, so the synchronous clocks may be operated directly from the power mains itself. In any country, one common supply frequency is adopted to facilitate the interchange of energy between different generating stations and substations. So in India, in our country, so it is 50 hertz is the supply frequency adopted, and in American states or other countries like America, they are using 60 hertz as their standards. So every country has its own standards. So in that, any country, one common supply is frequencies adapting so that different power stations to the generating stations with substations, it will be maintained constant to interchange the energy. The electric lights do not operate satisfactorily at lower frequencies and gives flickering. If frequency is low value, then the lights will flickering. It's completely not gives glow with light. These are flickering and the do not operate it satisfactorily at lower frequencies. At lower frequencies in the transformers, no flux linkages required is more, hence more turns and as and cost the 25 hertz. The transformer cost is 40% and 250% more than 50 hertz transformers. So in this low voltage frequencies, transformers cost 40 to 50% more than the high frequency transformers. At high frequencies, say 50 hertz, the reactance of lines and machinery is two times more than the at 25 kilohertz, 25 hertz frequency. Due to this poor regulation will be occur with these frequencies. In case of AC motors, the change of frequency causes changing of speed. From the above effects, it will be desirable to choose the constant frequency, that is 50 Hz or 60 Hz. So by eliminating the above effects, we have to take one constant frequency, that is 50 Hz or 60 Hz. Coming to the supply voltage, effect of supply voltage and transmission lines. In transmission lines, more troubles are due to high currents compared to high voltages. Sometimes the lower maintenance and operating cost may be obtained at higher transmission voltage. The size of conductor reduced at high voltages. If voltage is high, the size of conductor is also reduces. At high voltages, the spacing between the conductors increases, which increases the cost of the line supports. If the spacing is increases, these uh, increase in spacing will increases the cost of the line supports also at high voltages. This is the effect of supply voltage on a transmission lines. Coming to the effect of voltage on line efficiency. So if voltage is raised n times, then the current in the line required to transmit the same amount of power is reduced by n times, because if voltage is increases means if we, the current will be constant, like some of the we'll assume that 5 amperes is the current. So if voltage is raised, that much of current will transmit to the transmit the same amount of power is reduced to m times. The line losses are I square r are reduced m square times, and hence line efficiency is increased. If whenever the voltage is increased or raised n times, then the power will reduce the m times. And if line losses are reduced, voltage is increased, and then line losses are reduced m square times, and hence line efficiency is increased. The effect of voltage on line drop. So now consider ER is equal to ES minus I into R drop, where R is the resistance of both conductors. So ER is receiving end voltage, ES is sending end voltage. Then receiving end voltage is equal to sending end voltage minus IR drop. So that is the resistance drop. Percentage eta is equal to ES minus IR by ES, that is 1 minus IR by ES. So where percentage eta efficiency is equal to 1 minus IR by ES into 100. So by multiplying this 100 minus IR by ES into 100. So this term will give the percentage voltage drop in both the conductors expressed as the percentage of sending end voltage. Therefore, the line voltage is increased, then the efficiency is increased for a given line drop. If voltage is increased, so at a given line drop, the efficiency also increases with this given drop. This is the effect of voltage on line drop. And coming to the effect of voltage on volume of the conductor material. So the increase, whenever we increase the voltage by n times, the current is decreased and by m times, and the line loss is decreased by m square times. So if voltage is increasing, then current is also decreases with the increasing voltage, and then the line loss is decreased with m square times or square times of voltage. So if M is the voltage, it increases by voltage of M times. So then the current is reduced by M times, but the line loss will decrease by M square times. To transmit with the same loss as before, that means some loss is already there to transmit in the transmission line. Before the same loss, the resistance of the line can be increased M square times. That is, the volume of the conductor material can be decreased by M square times. So some to transmit with same loss as before, starting the volume of the conductor material. So the resistance of the line is increased with M square times. Then the volume of conductor material will be decreased with M square times. This is the effect of voltage on volume of the conductor. And for a given line, the transmission efficiency and given amount of power to be delivered, the volume of the conductor material is inversely proportional to the square of the voltage and square of the power factor. So for a given line transmission efficiency, the given amount of power to be delivered and the volume of the conductor material is inversely proportional to the square of the voltage and square of the power factor. So that is volume of the conductor is directly proportional to V square and cos square theta. This is the effect of voltage on volume of the conductor. So by taking this equation, I will explain the voltage effect of voltage on volume of the conductor. So suppose assume that volume of the conductor material is A into I, which is proportional to 1 by E square cos square theta or phi, where A is the cross-sectional area of the conductor, that is not I, it is the L. L is the length of the line. A into L is the volume of the conductor, area into length. So E is the phase voltage and cos phi is the power factor. So volume of the conductor A into L is directly proportional to 1 by E square cos square phi. Hence, there is a great saving of conductor material by employing high voltages. If we are taking low voltages means the copper using of copper material is heavily used required to high amount of conductor material. But by using high voltages, if voltage is increases, then we will save the conductor material with the high voltages employing in the transmission lines. And coming to effect of voltage on transformers, insulators, switchgears, and supports. High transmission voltage should be used and increases cost of insulators and increases cost of transformers, switchgears, and terminal apparatus, and increases cost of supports. If we are increasing the voltage, then high transmission voltage should be required, which increases high transmission voltage means voltage is increases, the cost increases in insulators. So insulator used in these power systems will be increases cost of the insulator materials or insulators whatever used in systems, and it increases the cost of transformers, switchgears, and terminal operators. So, and these transformers used in this transmission will also increases the cost of transformers used in these systems. So, power transformers are instrument transformers, some potential transformer and current transformers and the insulator transformers, instrument transformers and instrument transformers cost also increases, and in transformers used in power transformers are used in these systems will also increases their cost. And switchgear like switches, isolators, circuit breakers, fuses, these are the some of the switchgears used in these stations, transmission systems. So these are also increases the cost of the equipment used in switchgear uh, equipment used in systems, transmission systems, and also terminal apparatus also increased with the increasing transmission voltage and increases the cost of support by using. If we increases the voltages, transmission line voltages, these are using with a small amount of voltage transmission, we use the poles like cement poles, concrete poles are required with the less amount of cost. And if we increase the voltage beyond the uh, values like 11, 11 kV and for 132 or 220 or 400 like that, if we increase the voltages, the supports required for to carry these transmission voltages, the supports are also changes. So with for high voltages, the steel towers like towers are used for transmitting high voltages. So cost of line supports will increases. To use these supports, the cost is increases with the help of with increasing of transmission voltage. If high voltage means high cost of transmission supports, and with low voltages, its cost is also less for line supports. So this is all about the voltage. If voltage increases, what are the effects? And one empirical formula for transmission voltage is the economical transmission voltage between lines in three-phase AC system. So economical transmission voltage, capital B is equal to 5.5 under root of 0.62. This is the L, 62 L plus 3 times T by 150 kilovolts. So this is the empirical formula for transmission voltage, that is economical transmission voltage, capital V, which is equal to the 5.5 into under root of 0.62 L plus 3 times power divided by 150 kilovolts is the economical transmission voltage. So in this, where capital V is a line voltage or transmission voltage in kilovolts, and T is equal to maximum kilowatt per phase to be delivered to single circuit. It's the maximum power to the phase to be delivered to single circuit. This is P, and L is the distance between or distance of a transmission line in kilometers. So this is the empirical formula for transmission voltage. So we will see once again what are today's highlights. So coming to need of transmission line, it needs the why we need these transmission lines means if we transmit the high voltages from generating stations to the consumer premises, we are using these transmission lines, or we need the transmission lines to transmit, and distribution lines are used for distributing the supply voltage to the substations to the consumer premises. These are needed for transmitting and distributing the supply frequency, supply voltage from generating stations to the consumer uh, or customer consumer premises and domestic applications. And these are the some of the voltages, the distribution voltage, subtransmission and transmission, and high voltage VHV and UHV voltages. And coming to the power system line diagram, this generating stations to the consumers. There will be primary transmission, secondary transmission, and primary distribution and secondary distribution. And coming to the transmitting powers, there are two types of transmitting the systems, power systems. So which one is DC supply and DC system and AC system. So in these DC systems, they requires two conductors only, and there is no effect of inductance, capacitance, and spin effects. And in case of DC transmission system, there are some of the disadvantages. Power voltage cannot be high, and cost of converting inverting stations also high, and it requires high cost of switchgear than AC transmission systems. And this in AC transmission system, we use with high step down, step up transformers, and high voltage also generated in these AC transmissions. And maintenance substation is easier and cheaper, and cost of switchgear is less cost of switchgear is used in AC transmission. And in AC transmission also we have some disadvantages. Power loss is more, and conductor material required is high. Synchronizing problems are there in AC transmissions, and corona skin effect also they present in DC AC transmission systems. So coming to the effect of supply voltage and supply frequency in transmission lines. So for supply frequency, if frequency maintained constant only, we use some of the operations are done with supply constant supply frequency. Those are AC motors do not change their speeds, and also synchronous clocks are operated with the electric mains only. If the frequency is constant, and in any country it will take one uh, common supply frequency. So to interchange the energy from generating stations to the substations. And electrical lights also flickering with low frequencies. If sufficient frequency is there, the lights are satisfactorily operated. And with the low frequencies like 25 Hz, the cost of transformer is 40 to 50% more than the 50 Hz frequency transformers. If high frequencies are taken, so reactance of lines and machinery is 2 times more than the low frequency. So this will due to poor regulation will occur with these frequencies. And in AC motors also frequency will causes the change of speeds. So this is the effect of supply frequency on transmission lines. And coming to the voltage, it will troubles due to high currents compared with the high voltages, but low maintenance and operating cost, higher transmission voltage will be required. If high voltages or voltage supply voltages increases, the size of conductor is also reduces, and at high voltages the spacing between the conductors also increases, so that with the high voltage the line supports are cost of the line supports are increases. In line voltage will affect on line frequency also. If voltage is increases, and line efficiency also increases with increasing with reducing in line losses. These line losses are due to reduced due to power amount of power reduced in the transmission lines. And coming to the line drop also, by changing of voltage, the line drop also changes. And coming to volume of the conductor material, the voltage these changes are increases the voltage, then line loss also decreases. And to transmit same loss, the the resistance of the line is also increased and overall volume of the conductor is decreased. So the given line transmission efficiency, the volume of conductor material is inversely proportional to the square of voltage and square of the power factor that is given with this equation. Area of cross section into length of the conductor will give the volume of the conducting material, which is proportional to 1 by E square cos square phi. So E is the voltage and the cos square phi is the power factor. So it will inversely proportional to the E square and cos square phi. So by taking high voltages, we will save the conductor material, copper material with the high voltages. And coming to the effect of voltage on transformers and all the equipment used in transmission systems is, if voltage is increased means transformer cost also increases, insulator cost, insulators used in these transmission systems, the cost of insulators also increases, and supports used for transmission, the cost of the supports also increases with these high voltages are increased transmission voltages. So this is the formula for transmission voltage V equal to 5.5 under root of 0.62 L plus 3T by 150 kilovolts. So this is all about the transmission line, the need of transmission and distribution lines, and also advantages and disadvantages of transmission lines and effect of frequency and voltage in different factors. If frequency is changes, some of the factors are changes, and voltage is changes, some of the factors will changes. So this is the all about today's class. We will continue in next classes. Thank you.